Hey guys, come on downstairs. We are playing Minnesota Twins franchise here on Mama's Basement. It's year 3, games 13 through 16. We are on the road at Comerica Park as we face the Detroit Tigers. Tigers coming into this series at 6-6. We are coming in at 7-5. It is the first 4 games of a 7-game road trip. Starting with game number 13, the opener. Anibal Sanchez will start for the Tigers, 3.38 ERA in 13 1/3 innings. He's got 13 strikeouts and 5 walks. Alex Wood will take the hill for us. He's 1-0 with a 2.77 ERA. He's gone 13 innings in his 2 starts with a 1.15 whip, 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. And we start things off here in the 4th inning with Twins catcher Devin Mesoraco up with an 0-1 count and 2 outs. And Mesoraco lifts this one high and deep to left field. And nothing Justin Upton can do but watch that one sail over his head out past the bullpen. And it is a 451-foot monster home run for Devin Mesoraco, his first in a Minnesota Twins uniform. We move on to the 5th inning now. Runners on first and second with nobody out. And Iglesias at the plate, and he lines one into right field. Danny Santana plays it on one hop. And 1 run will come in to score. 6th RBI on the year for Jose Iglesias. We're all tied up at 1. Ian Kinsler now with a base hit into left field. Another run comes in to score. And the Tigers take the lead. Now Justin Upton. And Justin Upton gets all of this one. It's going to head into the Twins bullpen. A 3-run home run for Justin Upton. 418 feet on the bomb. And the Tigers take game 1 of this series, 6-2. Justin Upton, 1 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs. Brendan Holt went 3 for 4 with a double. Ian Kinsler, 2 for 4 with an RBI. And James McCann, 2 for 4 with an RBI. For the Twins, Devin Mesoraco was 1 for 4 with that moonshot of a home run. Alex Wood gets the loss. Anibal Sanchez gets the win for the Tigers. He went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. Both runs were earned and had 3 strikeouts. So look at the moonshot tracker. Devin Mesoraco obliterates the field with his 452-foot bomb, 20 feet further than the previous number 1 hitter, Kenis Vargas. And we head to game number 2 of the series, game number 14 of the season. Both teams at 7-6. Daniel Norris gets the start for the Tigers. He has been unhittable this year. 17 innings, 7 hits, has yet to give up a run. Has a 0.65 whip. Tyler Duffey goes for us. Making his 3rd start, he's got a 4.85 ERA. Continuing to wait for that ERA to come down for Tyler Duffey. It has been high in the first 2 years of Twins franchise. Scott Van Slyke for the Tigers steps into the box in the 2nd inning with 2 outs. And Duffey catches the outside corner with strike 1. Then goes with a high cutter for strike 2. And then the 2-seamer catches the plate down and in. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Van Slyke sits down. End of the 2nd inning. We have no score. Here in Detroit, on to the 4th inning. Miguel Sano batting .240 with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. On an 0-1 count, here's the delivery from Norris. And Norris has given up no runs no longer. Miguel Sano puts one on the board with a solo home run into left field. 3rd home run of the year for Miguel Sano, 411 feet. He got every bit of that one. We go to the 5th inning. With the Twins leading 1-0, Tyler Duffey still throwing strong. 2 outs, 2-2 count. Van Slyke again, and he swings through the curveball. Tyler Duffey has a very good curveball. And when it's on, it is tough to hit. We go to the 6th inning. Eddie Rosario with a 1-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the delivery from Norris. And Rosario skies this one into center field. And the catch is made by Van Slyke out there in center. And in the middle of 6, it's still 1-0, Twins with the lead. We go to the 7th inning now. Mark Lowe is on to replace Norris. making his 6th appearance, a 1.35 ERA. He's going to face Luis Valbuena, who has been tearing the cover off the ball to start the season. We'll take a look at his statistics a little bit later in the show. Runner comes around third, heads to the plate. That's another RBI for Luis Valbuena. Sano just barely gets in under the tag. The Twins win it 2-0. In the second game of this series, they remain above 500 at 8-6. Miguel Sano 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. Byron Buxton went 2 for 4. Valbuena 1 for 3 with an RBI. Tyler Duffy goes 7, gives up 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. A good day for him. That'll bring his ERA down. Brandon Kinsler with the save. Nick Castellanos 2 for 3 for the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera 1 for 4, but they are shut out. Daniel Norris gives up 2 runs, his first 2 runs given up of the season. And Miguel Sano just barely ekes onto the moonshot tracker with that 411-foot home run into left field at number 10 here at Comerica Park. We head to game number 3 of this series, game number 15 on the year. And Shane Green is on the hill for the Tigers. He is 2-0 with a 1.32 ERA. The starting pitching staff for the Tigers has pretty good numbers so far. Irvin Santana 1-0 with a 0.73 ERA. Those are good numbers for him as well, as he is our 5th starter in the rotation. Second inning action here in game number 3 of the series. Luis Valbuena batting .319, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs. We'll look deeper at his stats a little bit later. On a 3-1 count, and Valbuena adds to his home run total with a towering fly ball into right field. A solo home run for Valbuena, and Luis Valbuena goes Valboom, his 7th home run of the season, 386 feet. That won't get on the moonshot tracker, but it still counts as a run. Of course, Russell Dillard, former Chicago White Sox, steps into the batter's box now. 2-2 delivery with 1 out, and Dillard lifts this one high to right field. That one is a high towering home run, and that gets out by about 4 or 5 rows. 4th home run of the season for Dillard, and that will tie up the game at 1 apiece at the end of the second inning. We go to the 3rd inning now. Eddie Rosario batting .269, no home runs, 4 RBIs on the year. He's got runners on the corners with 1 out, and he lifts it into center field. And a runner tagging from third. Here comes the strong throw from Dexter Fowler, but it's not in time. And Emilio Bonifacio slides in under the tag. The Twins take a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 3rd inning now. Runner going. And Mesoraco can't throw him out. A stolen base for Anthony Gose. As you see, the Tigers 4th in the American League in stolen bases. Ian Kinsler with 2 outs now, with Gose on second, and Kinsler drives this one down the right field line. It's going to one-hop the wall. Miguel Sano took a bad angle at it, has a hard time picking it up at the base of the wall, and it is a double for Ian Kinsler and the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera stepping in now, .364 batting average, still hitting the way Miguel Cabrera can hit. He's been with the Tigers so long, you sometimes forget that he started his career in Florida. So base hit into left field. Gose coming around third, and he's going to slide in safely. Sorry, that was Kinsler, not Gose. Gose already scored. Ian Kinsler slides in, and it's 3-2, Tigers over the Twins in the end of the 3rd. 5th inning action now. Green still on the hill for the Tigers. He's in a little bit of a predicament. Runners on 1st and 3rd with nobody out, and Byron Buxton slaps one into right field. The run comes in to score, and Buxton has an RBI single. He doesn't get a ton of RBIs from that leadoff spot. We're all tied up at 3 now. Eduardo Nunez with runners on 1st and 2nd, still nobody out. Nunez squares to bunt, and he's going to drop this one down the 3rd base line. That's going to do the job. Moves runners to 2nd and 3rd for Eddie Rosario with 1 out. Rosario's batting .293, and Rosario high to left field. Justin Upton is retreating, and it gets into the glove of Upton. A runner is going to tag and come in to score. Almost got over Upton's head, but he's able to reach up and snag it. At the middle of the 5th inning, Twins leading 4-3. We head on to the 6th now. Trevor May is coming in for the Twins, making his 6th appearance. He's got a 5.87 ERA, struggling a little bit out of the gate. He's facing Russell Dillard. And here's the delivery from May, and Russell Dillard smashes it deep into right field. Sano watches it sail into the seats. Another solo home run for Russell Dillard. That's his second of the game, 5th of the season. And the Twins have seen all they want to out of Trevor May. Justin Miller comes in now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And the score all tied up at 4 in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 delivery to Ian Kinsler. And Ian Kinsler lifts it high into left field. Eddie Rosario's looking up at the track, at the wall, and it is into the bullpen. That's a grand slam for Ian Kinsler off of Justin Miller, who was called up a few games back to take the place of JT Chargois, who's on the DL. Ian Kinsler with his 3rd home run of the year. It's a grand slam. It propels the Tigers to an 8-6 win in game number 3 of the series. The Tigers lead the season series 2-1. We are all tied up with Detroit at 8-7, tied for 2nd place in the American League Central. 2.5 games behind the Cleveland Indians, who are 10-4 at this point. Blaine Hardy gets the win for the Tigers. K-Rod with another save. It's number 2 on the year. And Trevor May gets saddled with the loss. Ian Kinsler 3 for 4 with a home run, 5 RBIs on the day for Kinsler as the Tigers win. All right, final game of this 4-game series. It's game number 16 of the year. Jordan Zimmerman making his 4th start. He's 0-2 with a 3.32 ERA. He looks like the more hittable pitcher of the 3 that have started for the Tigers in this series. Kyle Gibson will oppose him. He's also off to a great start, making his 4th start. He's 2-1, a 1.74 ERA for Kyle Gibson. He is our ace. In the first inning, with nobody out and runners on first and second, Rosario lines one right back up the middle. A run's going to come around third, and the throw will go in to the cutoff guy. A run will score. RBI to Eddie Rosario. Devin Mesoraco now with 2 outs. And Mesoraco into center field. That one is dying, and it's going to get down and get past Dexter Fowler, who lays out for it. And the runner is heading around third, and he will try to get back. And he is thrown out, but a run does come in to score. But the Twins strand a runner at second. We go to the 4th inning, Twins leading 2-0. And Salto Lamacchia swings and misses at the back hill slider from Kyle Gibson. At the end of 4, it's still 2-0. Kyle Gibson throwing well. In the 6th inning, Luis Valbuena steps up. With 2 outs, a 1-1 count. The delivery from Zimmerman. And this one is lined into right center field, and going back to make the catch as Anthony goes. And in the middle of 6, it's still 2-0. Zimmerman having a decent day for the Tigers. Russell Dillard has walked twice in the game so far, facing Kyle Gibson. With the bases loaded and nobody out, and Dillard grounds it to second, or on to first for the double play. The run does come in to score, though. And it is 2-1 Twins. Michael Tonkin will come in now for Kyle Gibson with a runner on third, trying to leave the tying run there. And he gets Castellanos to swing and miss at the high heat, up and in. At the end of 6, it's still 2-1 Minnesota. We go to the 8th inning now. Joe Jimenez making his 8th appearance, 4.50 ERA. And he will face Jorge Polanco. With runners on the corners and nobody out, with the score 2-1, Polanco grounds it to the right side. The infield was in. Here comes the play at the plate. It's not in time. Eddie Rosario steps in now. It's 3-1 Twins. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Rosario splits the gap in left center field. This one is going back off the top of the wall. One run comes in to score. Another one is heading towards the plate, and the throw is going to go into third. And it is a 2 RBI double for Eddie Rosario. The Twins go on to win the final game of this series 6-1. The 4-game series is split. The Twins finished this series at 9-7. The Tigers at 8-8. We're 2.5 games behind the Cleveland Indians. The Tigers, that should read 3.5 games for the Tigers behind the Indians. My bad on that one. Kyle Gibson gets the win. Jordan Zimmerman with the loss. Dexter Fowler 2 for 4 with the double for the Tigers. Eddie Rosario 2 for 4 with the double, 3 RBIs. Eduardo Nunez was 3 for 5 for the Twins. Up next, we have the Kansas City Royals to finish off this 7-game road trip. And as promised, we're going to look a little bit deeper at Luis Valbuena, who is off to an absolutely torrid start. His batting stats so far this year: 16 hits, 51 at-bats, .316 batting average, 7 home runs, 13 RBIs. On-base percentage is .364, slugging .804. His OPS is 1.168. In 15 games, he has 51 plate appearances, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 4 doubles. Has been hit by pitches 3 times and walked intentionally once. His base running stats: he is not a base stealing threat, has nothing there. Fielding stats: 93 1/3 innings of defense, 16 assists, 11 putouts, 3 errors. His fielding percentage is .900. That could stand to be a little bit higher. And we get to some more advanced stats. Wins above replacement, 0.7, 1.8% walk percentage. We'd like to see that a little bit higher. A 12.7 strikeout percentage, not bad. The isolated power, 490. And look at his at-bats per home run. A home run every 7.3 at-bats so far for Luis Valbuena. Secondary average is 510. Runs created, 13.4. And that is it for Minnesota Twins franchise here on Mama's Basement Sports Gaming. Up next, we have the Kansas City Royals. If you guys want to know statistics for any particular player at any time, let me know, and I will do graphics like I did for Luis Valbuena for whatever player you want to know about, where they're at in the season. Just let me know. Minor leaguers, major leaguers, anybody within our organization.